What is the point? What are you accomplishing? Back and forth on my desk. What is going on? Ma'am? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all feeling healthy and staying safe. I haven't done a fitness Q&A in a hot minute, but whenever I do get DMs regarding fitness or someone's fitness journey, I always try my best to get to them and to reply to them. But sadly, most of the times those DMs might get lost and I'll never find them and I'll never be able to reply to them. So instead of trying to dig through all my DMs, I figured that I'd make a one-stop shop fit Q&A with all the questions that I get asked the most. I went on my Instagram stories and asked for you guys to ask me all the questions that you want regarding fitness, and I got quite a few, and I'm gonna be answering the ones that I got the most. If you don't follow me on Instagram already, it's @ElizabethZaks. It's a fun time. Go ahead and follow me on there and let's be friends. First question that we're gonna be tackling is probably one of the most common questions that I get, and that is what my diet looks like and if I track my macros. I don't even know where to start with this. Tracking macros. Tracking and I have had a pretty complicated relationship. Many ups and downs, many ups and downs. Just to sum it up, in the very beginning of my fitness journey, before I even started my YouTube channel, I had a very bad experience with tracking macros, and that is because I would obsess over every single thing that went into my body. I had very unrealistic goals, and I was in a terrible place mentally. But I don't want to dwell too much on that. That could be for a different video if you guys want. But I stopped tracking macros a little bit after that just to get a better relationship with food again, to love myself again, to not let numbers define me, and to realize that carbs are not the enemy. There are many things that I had to fix within myself. And this is something that I personally dealt with. This might not apply to you, but I'm just sharing, you know, my personal experience. I went a little bit without tracking macros. Most of the time I would just intuitively eat, and that is what I like sticking to. But then I hit a little rough patch mentally. And when I say a little rough patch, I mean it was huge. I don't know why I'm trying to make it smaller than what it was. I went through a very rough time mentally, and I'm still recovering from that, but recovering, so that's important. Because of my mental health struggles, I lost a lot of my appetite, and this is fairly recent. Like, if you've watched my previous videos, this has been within the last year and a half. I started to lose my appetite. I started to go very long periods of time without wanting to eat, and that was not something that I was happy about, especially as someone who loves food, who loves their carbs, who loves to eat. I was very upset about that. So my most recent goal that I had mentioned when I started to work on myself and try to recover from that was to not only work on my mental health, but also to find a way to bring my appetite back and to enjoy eating food again. With the help of supportive family and friends and really looking within myself, I have gotten my appetite back, and it is the best thing ever. But since I did go through that phase where I wasn't hungry, I have lost a lot of weight, and I did not want this. I did not ask for this, okay? I lost a lot of strength. I didn't really like what losing weight did to my body, and I lost a lot of confidence because of that. But now that I have my appetite back, I am starting to slowly ease myself into using LifeSum. This is not sponsored. I have mentioned them before in sponsored videos, but I genuinely like the app, and that is what I'm using currently to track my macros, and I'm trying to gain 5 pounds within the next month and a half. Slow little goals. It is still incredibly difficult for me to fill in all those macros. I won't specify my macros because everybody's body is different, and because of that, you shouldn't really follow somebody else's diet to a T. I'm sorry that this answer is a little bit long, but I figured that all that stuff was important to mention, especially if you've been a part of my journey for this long. Currently, I'm not restricting myself at all. I am trying to gain weight, and I am currently tracking my macros to help me gain that weight that I lost back. And I've actually gotten a lot of DMs of people asking me why I wanted to gain weight for summer when most people want to lose weight, and honestly, my answer to that is because I want to. Do what you want to do for yourself, not because everybody else is doing it. What's gonna make me happy is not what's gonna make you happy. Do what you wanna do, okay? Another question that I get a lot, but right now I'm getting especially a lot of these, is that how do I stay motivated, especially in quarantine? Quarantine didn't only kill my social life, but it also killed any motivation I had at all. First things first, I think it's very important to mention that not everybody is always motivated. I don't care what you see on Instagram, what you see on YouTube. I don't care how loud these people are speaking about motivation is the key to success. You always have to be motivated. You always have to be 110% there. You have to sweat out motivation. You have to have motivation shoved in your ear holes, and they're just screaming at you, and it's very uncomfortable, and it's just not a good time. No one is motivated 110% of the time. No. Probably not even like 80% of the time. I am definitely not motivated 110% of the time, and I try to let you guys know whenever I'm not feeling motivated. So if you're also feeling unmotivated, that you don't feel so alone and that it's not normal to feel unmotivated. I think that's one of the most important things to understand, is that motivation isn't always going to be there. And I know there's that argument that's like, but then you need discipline and nah, and it's just, it seems really hardcore and just very aggressive to me, at least. What has helped me stay motivated or just stay on track is to keep a good schedule. And that really did help me, especially since in the beginning of quarantine, I had no schedule, I had no structure to my day, and it made me feel incredibly unfulfilled and unmotivated. And one of the most important things to add on to that to stay motivated is to make your goals realistic. I've done it many times myself where my goals were unrealistic or unreachable through the amount of time that I wanted to accomplish it in, or I would just add too much to my plate on a daily basis, and because I wouldn't finish my to-do list or I wouldn't finish what I wanted to do in that day, I would feel incredibly unmotivated. I would feel like a failure, and I would literally just hate myself for it. I think we all have a tendency to kind of overshoot or set the bar too high for ourselves and to be a little bit too hard on ourselves. So I think it's very important to set realistic goals, to consider your daily schedule, to consider what you really can fit into a day. Creating reasonable short-term and long-term goals will help you stick to a schedule, and it will help you be motivated in the long run. And the best part is that if you're not feeling motivated one day, you're already used to the schedule and you just stick to it and you just push through that little slump and everything will be great. But also know when you need a rest day, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, this is my most asked question for sure, hands down. How do you grow your glutes without putting on weight? I want to keep my flat tummy. Well, I have some bad news for you. To gain a substantial amount of muscle, you will have to put on some weight. That is currently what I'm trying to do to get my old bod back. Of course, everybody's genetics are different, and some people just don't store fat in their stomachs. I hate you. I'm just kidding. Everybody's genetics are different though. Not everybody stores fat in the same exact places. Not everybody stores fat in the same places you do or I do. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I gain weight, I gain it throughout my entire body, but especially my back and my butt. If you decide that you do not want to put on weight, then 110% you can grow your glutes without doing so, but it does take some time and some patience. Personally, I don't mind putting on some weight, but everybody is different and everybody's goals are different. I'm just getting DMs flooding telling me that I shouldn't gain weight during summer, but do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Favorite booty exercises at home. Now this is a hot topic right now, especially since we're all stuck at home, there are no gyms open, and we are slowly losing our minds. My go-to booty exercises have not changed much from my go-to booty exercises at the gym. My top two right now are seated hip abductions. I absolutely love seated hip abductions, and hip thrusts. And when you combine the two, for example, hip thrust with an abduction, ooh, it hurts so good. Also, a quick little self promo if you're looking for an at-home booty guide. Mine's available right now at easyfitguide.com, and it's only $25. All right, the guide is killer. Trust me, ask anyone who's doing my challenge right now. It is freaking killer. How often do you do cardio / what does my cardio routine look like right now? Well, since I am trying to gain weight, I am definitely not doing any HIIT. I'm definitely not running outside. I am keeping that to a minimum, which, you know, I prefer it that way. Anyways, me and cardio don't really get along. I applaud the people who can go on runs because it's relaxing. When I go on runs, my body just wants to explode. My throat hurts, everything aches. It is an awful time and I don't enjoy it. But I still think it's very important to get that body moving from time to time, so I do go on bike rides 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I'm not doing the Tour de France or anything. I'm just going on a relaxing, nice bike ride, getting my body moving a little bit. It's a nice, relaxing time. It's nothing too crazy. Not that I really think that you guys would expect that from me, but still, just letting you guys know. But for those who are trying to lose some weight, I would definitely recommend incorporating some form of cardio or HIIT after a workout. I wouldn't suggest doing it every single day because HIIT is very, very stressful on your body. I would incorporate HIIT after my exercises probably 2 to 3 times a week. That's just what worked for me personally in the past when I've tried to lose some weight. This is a really good one. Are you ever inconsistent? I feel like I'm constantly starting and stopping and starting and stopping, and I'm never really going to start my fitness journey. Long story short, yes, 110%. When I first attempted to get into fitness is when I was the most inconsistent because I didn't find what I really liked doing, and I was working out based on what other people would say I should be working out, if that makes sense. The very first time that I tried to get into fitness, it was around the time when everybody was just doing cardio and that's it. At least women, that's all women were doing. They were just doing cardio, nothing else. Cardio and abs, and that's it. I don't know if you guys were really listening to what I said previously, but I hate cardio. And I'm not trying to be quirky. I really wish I liked it. I really wish I was one of those people that got relaxing or like a running high. Like, no. I was working out, I was doing everything I absolutely hated, and that's why it didn't last. The main thing I learned with staying consistent and at least liking what I'm doing is that I had to try many different things. I feel like I absolutely tried out everything. I really took advantage of my gym's little classes that they have in person. I tried boxing. Like I said, I tried the cardio thing a few times because that's what everybody just insisted on doing around me, and I felt like that's what I had to do as well. Then I finally got into weightlifting and I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it so much, and I enjoyed it so much more than anything that I've tried. I liked seeing progress not only within my body, but I liked feeling strong. And also throughout that time, my goals changed as well. Instead of working out for what other people wanted to see out of me, for what other people thought my body should look like, I worked out for my own goals, for what I wanted to see for myself, for what I wanted to do. And that might seem like a no-brainer for some of you, but personally for me, that is something that I wish I knew sooner, because when you're not doing it for yourself, it's not going to last long. What is your current workout split? Right now, I'm trying to stay consistent and work out my legs 3 times a week, like it says in my Easy HBB guide. Then I have 1 day set out for abs and cardio. And cardio, I mean just going out and enjoying a nice bike ride. A day focused on upper body and mobility, because I'm really trying to get the splits down and I am so freaking close. It's insane. And I also make sure I add 2 rest days in there. Rest days are incredibly important. You do not need to work out every single day to see progress. In fact, you will probably see less progress if you overwork your body. Personally, I struggled with that a lot when I first worked out. I thought every single day you had to be on your game, you had to be on top of it, you had to go to the gym, your muscles had to be sore every single day of the week, and you would see progress. And guess what? I started to hate the gym. I saw less progress and my body hurt so bad. And it's not that great for anyone mentally. Our bodies are not machines, and we have to give them a break. We need to rest and we need to be kind to ourselves. So please make sure you're adding rest days throughout your week. One of them for me is an active rest day, because I do try to get cardio in 2 or 3 times a week. And not all of my rest days are active rest days. More often than not, my rest days are pretty chill and I don't do that much, and that's totally okay. It's a rest day, enjoy it. Lay in bed, watch Netflix. Diet advice you would give someone who is looking to grow the booty? Carbs and protein, but carbs. Carbs 110% of the way. That's the best part of growing your glutes, baby. It's carbs. 110%. I also got loads of questions asking on how to achieve a flat stomach and if you should train abs every day. And to that I say no, please don't do that. Training abs will not get your abs to show. The main thing that you need to focus on is your diet. You might have heard of the term that abs are made in the kitchen, and while that is correct because you need to focus on your diet, it is also incredibly important to remember that your genetics do play a huge role in that. Not everybody stores fat in the same place, and not everybody will lose fat in the same place when they start losing weight. One of the most important tips that I could give you is to take your diet nice and slow. Don't go to extremes. I know there might be that reasoning that, you know, a more extreme diet will get you results faster, and that's just not true. If you want results and you want it to be sustainable in the long run, take it nice and slow. And although you do have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight, it is still very important to remember that carbs are not the enemy. And even though it's still very important to train abs for other reasons, abs are not dependent on ab workouts. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. If you have any more questions and you wanted this Q&A to be a little bit longer, let me know if you guys want a part 2, and leave your questions down in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. But all right, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, like, subscribe, stay safe and stay selfish, and I'll see you guys in the next one.